Hello, hello, hello. I am Angela of AKHarrell Writes, and thank you for joining me if this is your first time. And if you're an old friend, thank you for coming back. I have been MIA, and we're going to talk about that. Let's get started. Okay, if you're new to the scene here, I will just let you know this is not a perfect channel. The lighting can be off, the sound can be off, I can be off, okay? But anywho, we're going to get started. So, again, to catch up a little bit, if you are new, just look at some, prior videos. You get the swing of things. But for now, I have been MIA for several reasons. And I want to explain why. So I don't want to make this too long because I can go on and on. My regular friends know this. But I'm going to start with the biggest one, which is the personal things that have been going on. I'm a pretty private person, but this is obviously not a private environment. And so I feel like I owe it to, my friends to let y'all know what's been going on. First of all, health-wise, I do have a couple of disabilities, and unfortunately, they kind of went off the deep end for a minute, and I kind of had to deal with that. And so things are calming down, getting into the groove of things again. And so that was one of the reasons. Right now, I am good. My numbers are good. I am more rested, which I need energy to do certain things, which we'll talk about in a minute. But health-wise, it's progressing in a positive way. And so there's that. Also, as a writer who has limited income, it has been very difficult for me to take time to write without the stress of the financial issues going on. I'm on a fixed income, I guess you might say. I am receiving Social Security, and I am also receiving a pension because of my disabilities. I have worked all my life. I started working when I was about 13 in a volunteer position and about 15 in a paid position. So I've been working, a long time before I ever retired. And I will just say that all of a sudden not working it's a culture shock. It really is. And it's a big culture shock when it comes to your cash flow. Okay. So in any case, I have been struggling financially, and it is, to be truthful, because of the current economy. It is what it is. Okay. And so trying to find ways to kind of combat what's going on has been difficult. I've always been pretty much a frugal type of person. I never really splurged on big things except for my books. Now, we ain't messing around with that. Okay. So what do I have to do? I had to look at my budget again and say, what can I do? Well, I'm a common sense type of person. And so being honest with myself, there's only two things you can do. You either cut back or you make more. That's just simple. That's just the way it is. You cut back or you make more. So what do? I have to cut back. And so that meant less traveling, or really no traveling, to be honest. Okay? Again, it is what it is. That meant looking at other food options. That meant trying to supplement food, going to, some free food banks. I have no shame in receiving help when I need help, because I know that I use resources only when I need them, as we all should. And I also know that I have given when I was in a position to give. And so sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Now, I say, what else can I do? Because I'll cut back to the bone, honey. Ain't nothing on it. Nothing. Okay. Really cut back. And so I said, well, what else can I do? And as a disabled person, the Social Security Administration does allow you to work, for a certain amount of money, doing certain things. And so I said, well, I need to find something that's flexible and something that won't hopefully stress out my disabilities or cause me stress, because then that makes my disabilities go into an uproar. And so I looked at quite a few avenues. I am a sensitivity reader, but even though I do get some income from that, I really haven't been pushing that because it is very emotionally draining. And I just did not want to put myself into that tailspin, I have looked at a couple of projects, maybe picked up one, decided not to do a few others because I did not want to go through that type of stress. And actually could not go through that type of stress because it did start affecting my physical health. And so I know when to put that to the side and when to look at other options that are less stressful. Again, it is what it is. And so what did I do? I turned around and started to do Uber and DoorDash. And do I have a car? No, I don't. So how did I start to do Uber with no vehicle? Well, it's called the Uber Partner Program. Like I have no car, right? But I do have a valid driver's license with a good driving record. And so all I did was sign up to drive Uber. They went through my background check and I joined the Uber Partner Program. You can rent a car once you're approved to drive Uber. And you can rent a car through Avis, through Hertz, and also this platform called Zipcars. Now, most people know with Avis and Hertz, you go, you have to have, your credit card or huge cash deposit, you rent usually for a week, blah, 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 right? Not for me. With Zipcars, I am able to rent by the hour. I'm able to rent by the day, which I do advise to rent at least for 24 hours because you are paying the same amount of money for 1 hour as you are for 24 hours. So you might as well just rent it for the day. Okay. I have found that I like to do Uber because with my disability, I can get tired very quickly and I can stop and start as much as I want. There are a few requirements for you to do Zipcar. A, you have to be approved to drive Uber. B, you have to pay the rental rate. And you can use either your debit card, your credit card. There is no deposit, none of that shenanigans. And they include the commercial insurance. Yes, they include the commercial insurance. So everything is wrapped up in that one rental price. And depending on what type of Social Security you have, I have Social Security Disability Insurance, which is SSDI. I am able to make up to $1,620 a month. 2025. Normally the amount goes up each year and you want to make sure that you are reporting that you are working. I do not do enough work to go over what is called the SGA, or I know that I have to take a job that's flexible. I knew that I couldn't do anything where I'm standing on my feet a long time. I knew I couldn't do anything where I couldn't stop and start. So Uber for for disabled people or for people who just want something flexible. I can't tell you how many times I was able to just stop working. Okay, just stop, turn around, go home, eat my lunch, all of that. I am licensed to drive for Uber and Lyft. Also approved to do DoorDash, and I'll talk about the differences in another video because I do want to show what options are available, because no matter what, the bills don't stop. Okay, the bills don't stop. And we don't need the extra stress of trying to have the two things competing, your finances versus your creativity. And so, again, if you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm more than welcome and open to answering them. But I believe that it's a great way to bring in extra income, to relieve stress, to have flexibility when you are writing. Another reason why I had to take a break is because I have been having some deaths in my family and among friends, and that's always difficult. And you just have to take off to take care of yourself, your emotions, your feelings, and to help those who are also feeling the same within your family or among your friends. And so, yes, unfortunately, had a couple of deaths occur. And so just going through that, and yeah, I don't need to speak anymore about that. If you've been through that, then you understand what I'm talking about. Now, moving on to the more exciting part is the career, okay, the writing. So, the last time that we spoke, I did my video, I was going to the Inkubator. The Inkubator is a large writers conference that is held in Cleveland, Ohio every year, usually around the end of September. Okay. And it has a lot of things going on. Classes, author signings, authors speaking. It's just a great, great conference. And it's free. It's free. Now, you can donate if you're able to try to help cover the cost of, upcoming writing scholarships, or just to put money towards their operating costs. But it is free to attend. Again, it happens every year, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful conference. People come from all over the United States to attend, and I've even met some people at this year's conference that came from out of the country. They just happened to be here and heard about it and came. So that was great. Learned a lot. Got to, speak with a famous author that's coming up for a great award. She's been nominated, and I haven't read the other books that are against her, but her book is really, really good. And so that was exciting. And just being in community with people who are also writing was exciting as well. Unfortunately, this is also around the time that I started getting sick. I also wanted to attend a conference called Glossy, the Greater Lakes African American Writers Conference, but I was unable to attend that, and I was very upset about it. I was also unable to attend some of the other events that are within the writing conference week, or it really wasn't a week, it was about 10 days, but I was unable to attend quite a few of those functions. But there is always next year, and we're just going to try to be on a better path that my health will be better next year when it comes around. As you guys know, I do attend some writing classes at my local county library, and we have what's called a writer in residence. This is a author, writing instructor, lecturer, writing professional that will come to the library, and usually they're there for about maybe 6 to 9 months, and they hold classes. They have private office hours to help writers like myself who are new, who are learning, or even more experienced writers, to help them to review their work and to offer great feedback. And so I was privileged. The appointments are very scarce, but I was privileged to be one of the last 6. Actually, I think, the last person, or at least the last day, to be able to meet with a wonderful author and lecturer by the name of Justin Reynolds. He writes YA fiction, and he is the author of The Opposite of Always, which I'm sure you may have heard of, and a couple of other books. He's also doing graphic novels for Marvel. He is also the co-founder of the CLE Reads. He's just a wonderful person, has a wonderful energy, and he was able to review my work and give me some great feedback. He said he liked it, which I believe him. And so just some great pointers and tips for me to expand the writing. Another thing I wanted to tell you about that I'm very excited about is I signed up for something called Critique Partner Connection. And this is under a YouTuber's channel. Her name is Lauren K. And the YouTube channel is Lauren K Writes. And she has put together just some wonderful resources, free resources, paid resources. And one of the things she's put together is what's called a Critique Partner Connection. And basically, you are signing up, answering questions about what you're writing, and trying to find a person that you can work with and motivate each other, critique each other's work, and that type of thing. And so I had put my information into a database a long time ago, and I was just contacted recently by someone who's interested in working with me. And so that was about 2 days ago. I'm very excited about it, and we're going to try to talk to each other and see if we're a good match. And if so, I may have found a new critique partner. Now, I write historical fiction and literary fiction. I write some poetry, but my main focus right now is writing my first novel, which is a literary historical fiction. And although I do not have any critique partners right now, I was in a critique writing group about sometime last year. And the writing group went on for, I'll say, about 6 months. I liked it, but it really didn't give me what I was looking for, because in that particular writing group, 2 or 3 people shared their work over the course of 6 months. And so you really only got to share your work once, and then you read other people's work. I was able to learn from the instructor about the structure of writing and how things can go together. And I was able to read other writers' work, which is always valuable. I've learned so much from reading other people's books. It is amazing. But I wanted something a little bit more intimate, something where I could offer more value to the other writer, and they can offer me their strengths. So we, can kind of work off of each other. And so I went to search for critique partners. Maybe this will work out. I would not mind having another critique partner. I think my max would probably be up to 3 people, because that can be a lot of work. But I would love to have another critique partner, or a critique partner, because I do feel that it is a way to kind of hold you accountable. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. If anyone is interested in becoming a critique partner, like I stated, I'm concentrating right now on literary fiction and historical fiction, and this is my first novel. If you have any interest in that, if you're looking for a critique partner, please let me know. I will pretty much do any genre, except I don't like horror stories. I don't like the blood and the gore, and I'm really not into science fiction. Romantasy, I can get into that. Again, pretty much anything else I'm down with. So if you're looking for a critique partner and you have some time, maybe we can figure out if you and I would be a match. There you go. And as always, we are now about to have our channel shout out. Please support. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was my writing. How is it going? Well, let me tell you. For a minute, I was very frustrated with my writing. I couldn't figure out what was missing from the story. And I may have said this before, but I kind of figured out that I wanted to add another piece, another dimension to the story. And so I made it into a dual timeline. After speaking to Justin, the writer in residence at the library, I told him, I'm trying to decide between making this just one story, making this two stories, making this a dual timeline, making this a family saga. And we went over some things, and he suggested it would be great as a dual timeline. And so that is what I'm going with. That was kind of like my first choice, but I wanted him to tell me his thoughts. And so I was very happy when he said, yeah, I think this would be a great dual timeline. Getting back to the frustrating part. So I am a reformed pantser. I think I stated this before in one of the other videos. You can go back and look one of the Q&As I did. But anywho, I am a pantser, discovery writer, that type of writer. But I have found that I need to have a little bit more direction. And so I started working on an outline. I am not doing a full novel outline because, again, I'm a discovery writer. But what I am doing is outlining the chapters that I know I'm going to be doing. And when I'm outlining the chapter, if an idea sparks because of the outline that I'm doing, because you're kind of looking for a cause and effect, type of deal. And so if I see that, if I do this, it's going to cause this, and then she'll be affected this way. Okay. Or the antagonist will be affected that way. And so that is kind of what I'm doing. That is working out pretty well for me. And I was doing a bunch of research, but I have kind of put that to the side because I found that doing so much research is holding up the process of writing. Of course, research is valuable because I'm doing historical fiction, right? Got to be there. But I found that just getting the story down and then making little notations, fill in the blank, put a little star, because, honey, if I see one thing and I'm like, oh, well, how would they have done that back then? I will go down a rabbit hole of no tomorrow. I admit my faults. So yes, it's just straight writing. And I've also found that getting more on a schedule, even if it means writing down some ideas for that day, it may not be actual writing for that day because I'm just not that kind of writer. I just don't write every day. I felt like when I tried to do that, it kind of stressed me out. And so I said, well, what is the best way for you? And so for the past month, what I have been doing is trying to figure out my writing style. And I've come to the conclusion that I write better at night after having seen what's going on in the world. I can get through more writing when I sketch out or outline a scene, when I make sure that I put certain things in there. What's the cause? What's the effect? What's the emotion? How is this helping the story? If it's not helping the story, scratch the idea, because when I go back to do my revision, that's one thing I don't want to have to be doing. I have even tried to write a scene from one point of view and then switch it to another point of view just to see which style is working out better. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the work that I'm doing right now. It doesn't feel as stressful. I'm not crying about why can't I write this? What's going on here? I've just come to find out that there are some things that are going to be stumbling blocks. And basically what you have to do is set it aside sometimes. Go read another book. Even watch a movie. I've watched some movies that have really helped me to see, the scene that I'm trying to set a little bit, but how do I do it in word form? And so, yeah, for me personally, I have to pay attention to what's going on in the world, even if it's the movie world, even if it's the literary world. I am not one of those kind of people that has the world that I'm writing solely in my head. It comes from my head, but it comes more from, I think, some emotions. And I don't feel emotions without looking or reading certain things. It is what it is. And so that's what's going on with the writing. Because I turned it into a dual timeline, I didn't start over from scratch, but I had to start the second timeline from scratch. So the first story is going along as it's going along, and now the second story is at the more beginning stages. I want to put a little bit more focus on the second story to kind of get it caught up with the first one. Right now, just trying to figure out how I can intertwine the two. I don't know. Maybe I don't intertwine the two until I'm finished with each story. I don't know. I've never written a dual timeline short story or anything else. And so we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Okay? Yeah. So again, that's the update on the writing. I'm very excited about it. I know this was a lot today, y'all. I'm going to be talking about some other exciting things. I am definitely going to be getting back to the book reviews because I've been reading a lot of books, and I just have to put all that together. Try not to be a perfectionist about that because, hey, know thyself, okay? But if you like this type of content, if you want to watch a newbie writer go on her journey to becoming an author, come back, sit a spell, let's chit chat, let's get together. You don't have to be afraid of me. A dang old show ain't afraid of you. Just saying. So come back, and until then, please do happy writing and fabulous reading. Bye.